What's up guys, my name is Alessandro. For those of you who don't know me, also known as NadaqAle, I want to make a video about the mistakes I made throughout my trading journey. Holy voice crack. I want to make a video about the mistakes I made throughout my trading journey and the true cost of becoming what is known as a profitable trader, right? Where was I when I started? Where was I, or where am I today? And what were the mistakes that I made throughout this journey that I could have so easily slightly altered to a speed run, or not speed run, but speed up my journey to profitability, make it easier, and more importantly, make it more cost effective, because I did lose a lot of money throughout my journey trying to become a profitable trader, and that is something that I don't want you guys losing. Obviously, money is harder to attain than time itself. So I would much rather have you guys have the seamless, easiest possible way, or easiest guide to profitability, right? So start off with what is known as the true cost of profitability is obviously time. You're gonna spend hours backtesting, hours of your life just working and striving towards a goal. People are going to call you delusional. Just know this, because you are unprofitable and you are talking to your friends about day trading. The concept of making thousands of dollars in minutes by staring at a candlestick is still considered impossible by 90% of the population. You think I wasn't stared at by my teachers? Like I was a psychopath. My teachers thought I was crazy. My friends thought I was crazy. A lot of my friends thought I was crazy. I'd get clowned for it, and you cannot let that shit get to your head. You have to stay at a certain level of delusion, and you have to accept the fact that you are delusional, because in terms of delusion, the definition of delusion is just believing in something that is not commonly perceived as possible, right? And considering the fact that you are not yet successful at what you are so delusioned to want to be successful at, you are in terms currently delusional, as you should be. I am still delusional because my goals are to make so much more money than I'm making right now. Realistically, right now I'm making anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000 a month. I want to be in the high six figures by the end of next year. So in terms of delusion, yes, I am currently still delusional, and I believe delusion is the feeder and the root of all success, right? So in terms of that, you need to be delusional. You need to believe that you can make this work. You need to believe that just because people don't believe in you doesn't mean you shouldn't believe in yourself, right? All that matters is that you know what you want, you know what you're doing, and you know that you are going to fucking do it. That's all that matters, right? Besides that, two things that come into play when it comes to actually learning how to trade. A, if you're a beginner, you can learn everything you need to learn for free on YouTube. Realistically, everything that you need to learn to be profitable is on YouTube. Mentors speed up the process because they hold you accountable. They do hold you accountable, and they kind of guide you towards the right concepts to learn. If you're on YouTube and you're brainwashed, you're being brainwashed by all this content, you can navigate your way around. I personally found my way around YouTube, but that took me 2 years to find the right videos. If you have a mentor, obviously you're set the right videos in a span of weeks. So you do not need a mentor, especially if you don't have the money for it. I highly recommend learn trading by yourself. Learn trading by yourself with a group of friends, join a free Discord, whatever it is. Just find a community of traders who are supportive. Mind you, the trading community is very toxic. Do not let other traders get into your head. If you are a top ticker and bottom ticker and you are not good at it yet, don't let ICT traders get into your head. I'm an ICT trader. I have friends who are top ticker and bottom tickers. I never clowned them when they were unprofitable and learning how to become a top ticker and bottom ticker, because I knew that their system is different from mine and I don't understand it, right? If a supply and resistance trader found out I was trading ICT, they wouldn't clown me because they're profitable and they understand that any profitable system works under any given circumstance if the person knows how to use it, right? Whenever someone tells me what is the best strategy, there is no such thing as the best strategy. The best trading strategy is the model that you can understand and apply the best to the current market, right? The only such thing as the perfect model is the model that makes the most sense to you, the model that you can trade the easiest and just clicks for you, right? The model you understand the best, that's it. It is literally that simple. Besides that, when you're on YouTube and you're learning all this shit, personally for me, the true cost, I was staying inside for like 2 years. 2 years of my life, junior and senior year of high school, I didn't leave my room. I would literally stay in my room all fucking day, backtesting, watching YouTube videos, journaling, going back on my trades, doing all this bullshit. And did it help me turn into a profitable trader? Full honesty, I don't think it did, because becoming a profitable trader is having two things under control. You understand your technical analysis, and B, you understand how to hold yourself accountable and control your emotions, right? Staying in on the weekends doesn't do anything with your emotions. It does not help you control your emotions. Why? The markets are closed. All you're doing is learning more technical analysis. If you already learned more than you should, don't overconsume anything. Stop overconsuming content. Overconsuming content is one of the most dangerous things any trader can do, because all you're doing is conflicting bias, conflicting concepts, conflicting strategies that could actually end up doing you harm. Most likely will end up doing you harm, right? So pick one mentor, or pick a group of mentors that all trade the same concept, right? If you have me, you could also have ICT, TJR. I have friends in this industry too. Shout out like Riley Botha. Shout out George, obviously. A lot of great traders, Jackonomics. All these traders are good people in the industry who I trust that could also teach you as well, right? And they all trade ICT concepts. So they all trade the same concepts I trade. So obviously watching them won't interfere with what you're watching with me. However, when you get into stuff like supply and demand, levels, bottom ticking, top ticking, but you're also trying to learn from my trade recaps or from TJR's trade recaps, whatever you're watching, you're literally watching anyone, right? That's where you're actually harming yourself, because you're thinking, oh, I'm spending hours studying and I don't get it. It doesn't click. No, you're spending hours learning different concepts. It's like if you're trying to you want to play soccer, right? Your dream is to be a midfielder, but every Tuesday and Thursday, you're practicing goalie. And every Friday and Sunday, you're practicing defense, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? Stick to what you want to learn and get really fucking good at it. Get really fucking good at it. That is it. That is how you become a good trader. You find a concept that you like, you find a series of concepts that you understand and that click in the market for you, and get really fucking good at trading them. Go into TradeZella, go into whatever backtesting software you use, and just get really fucking good at those few concepts that you actually understand. And that is it. That is all I recommend. I literally only trade gaps, order blocks, CISDs, and IFEGs. Why? Because that is what I understand best, and that is what I see in the market the most often, and I'm able to read. And that is what I base my 80% win rate off. Those 4 concepts that I know how to apply to the markets, right? Now let's get into the more realistic side of things. Money, the true cost of trading, monetary wise, because we all know the cost of trading emotionally. You're staying in for nights, you doubt yourself, all this bullshit, which you're getting in your head for. You should not be doubting yourself if you know you are going to be successful at something. Stick to it. There's no reason to fucking quit. Stick to it, right? The biggest thing for me when I was learning how to trade was I was on prop firms from the get-go. I was told to paper trade, and from the start, I was so obsessed with it. I was like, I don't need a paper trade. I can go on a prop firm. So I started buying funded accounts started resetting funded accounts for the span of months, or I want to say months, years. I spent 2 years just resetting and buying funded accounts. I probably spent anywhere between $15,000 to $20,000 on funded accounts before I saw a lick of profit from those funded accounts. Do you have to spend $15,000 to $20,000 on funded accounts? No, you could spend 0. You should be paper trading until you have your emotions and your technical analysis down, until you can prove to yourself that you are profitable for the span of, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks on paper. And I'm not saying profitable as in you made money. I'm saying profitable as in you actually took good trades. Every trade you took is an A+ setup. And every time you took a loss, you weren't upset because you knew that winning trades are part of losing trades are part of a winning system. And that you know that every losing trade is just a statistic to even out your probabilities of success as a trader. So you have to understand that trading is a statistic game. It is all statistics. And I can't pronounce that word well, so I'm gonna stop saying it. But it is all about statistics, right? A losing trade, all it is evening out a set of statistics. So let's say you have 20 trades, right? You lose 3 trades in those 20 trades, right? You still have what is that? It's not a 70% win rate, it's more than that. It's an 85% win rate. So let's say you have an 85% win rate, right? Out of 20 trades you took, you only lost 3 of them. Now we can do one of 2 things. When we lose that trade, we could say, okay, that is just a statistic in my set of trades, right? That is set to offset all the winning trades. And you understand that that is part of a profitable system. And you stop trading there. And you look for your setup the next day, right? Which is what you're supposed to do. That's what a profitable trader does. Or B, you get angry that you lose and you say, oh, I should have a 100% win rate. That shouldn't be happening. I shouldn't be taking losses, even though losses are completely normal in trading. And social media makes you feel like you have to win every trade. Social media makes you feel like you're wrong if you don't win a trade. You are not incorrect for losing a trade. There's no such thing as being right or wrong is not associated with green or red. Right or wrong is associated with, did you follow your rules? Did you follow your system? If you took your setup and you lost, you won. If you took your setup and you won, you won. If you took your setup, period, you're a winner in the markets because you followed your rules and followed a winning system, right? If you broke your rules and you took a setup that is a gamble and you won, you still lost that day. You still lost that day because by doing that, you were validating a bad habit that is going to lose you tenfold what you just made today. And trust me, because I've been there. I've done that. I've broken my rules in the past several times, taking trades that I thought were good, and maybe they made me a few $1,000s in the past. But those habits of taking trades that aren't part of my system carried along and eventually bit me in the ass. They eventually caught on and they eventually built bad habits that I should never have even built in the first place. And thankfully I caught on early and I was able to cut those habits and go back to the original way I traded very soon, right? Back to my point. You should not be trading funded accounts if you are not ready for it. If you are a beginner trader, especially one with not a lot of money to your name, I highly recommend paper trading. Paper trading is free. Every broker offers it. Webull, Thinkorswim, mainly TradingView, which is where you really should be doing it, offers it. All these brokers, Robinhood, all these brokers offer it. And by no means am I saying to go to a brokerage. Honestly, if you're a new trader, TradingView works just fine. But for a few months, I really recommend learning the concepts and being on paper. And it's going to be hard because you're going to be learning the concepts and you're going to think, oh, why is this guy Ale telling me to fucking be on paper? He's setting me up for success. I could be making money right now. Trust me, you're not going to. You're still new to trading. Trust me. There's so much emotions involved and you really need to pick up on those emotions. You need to pick up on self-control. Self-control in the market is the biggest limiting factor to success because if you don't have the ability to not react when you're in a bad mood in the markets, you will never be success. Everyone thinks, oh, it's all about reaction. No, if you are in a losing trade and you lose the trade, the goal is to not react. The goal is to be, okay, that was part of my statistics and I know my statistics play out to a profitable system. Why should I be upset, right? If you're playing basketball and you shoot 10 three-pointers, right? And you make 7 of them, you're gonna call yourself nasty. You're gonna be like, holy shit, I'm nasty. Right? But when you miss, you're not going to think much about it because you're going to make the next one. You're like, holy shit, I'm nasty. When you're trading and you lose a trade, you could think to yourself, that was part of my system and I know I'm nasty over the course of 2 weeks. Or you could think, holy shit, I suck. Let me go in and take a trade that's not part of my system and ruin everything. That's the same thing as literally grabbing the ball and shanking it with a knife. You just flattened your ball. It's gone. So now you can't even take more shots because you blew your funded account. Because you fucking breached your margin, right? You margin called your ass, right? You literally popped the ball. You can't even shoot a shot if you wanted to. You can't even fucking try anymore because you blew your fucking account, right? So don't be a fucking idiot when it comes to that, right? Paper trade until you are comfortable in the markets. Paper trade fake money. You don't even have to trade fake money. You can forward test, whatever the back test, whatever you want. Until you have a genuine understanding of what you're doing in the markets and until you 100% truly feel and trust yourself that you are ready for the real markets. Because the money you are going to lose on funded accounts, trying to convince yourself that you're profitable is going to be so much fucking money and it could literally be nothing if you just have the patience and honesty and accountability to tell yourself, I'm not ready for the live markets yet. It is that simple. That is it. That is literally it. That is what I wanted to share with you guys today. The true cost of becoming a profitable trader. Realistically, it's money, time, and mental capital. What is mental capital? Mental capital is, well, essentially your mental health as a trader, right? You're gonna have a lot of stress, you're gonna have a lot of anxiety, you're gonna have a lot of doubt. That's why it's called mental capital, because it's not physical capital, it's not actual cash, but it does take a huge toll on a human, on a person like you and me. It takes a huge toll on us because we're constantly seeing red for months. All we see is red. We're not seeing a single sign of hope that maybe one day we can become a profitable trader. All we're doing is losing money day after day after day after day. And I could not name a worse feeling than being unprofitable and confused as a trader. And I promise you, it gets better. And I promise you, if you journal your trades, if you see, why did I enter this trade? Every trade should have 3 things to its backbone, right? Why do you enter the trade? Does the entry make sense? What's your target? Why is your take profit where it is? Is it a valid take profit? Are you trying to make money? Or is it an actual point that you think price is drawn to? Where's your stop loss? Is your stop loss there because you don't want to lose X amount of money? Or is your stop loss there because that is a valid point that would invalidate your trade idea, right? So you should have those three things should be the backbone to all trades you enter, right? And the biggest mistakes I made as a trader were trading for monetary purposes. You cannot trade for money, even though yes, trading makes you money and you get into trading for the money. One of the limiting factors, not the one limiting factor, but one of the limiting factors to your success as a trader is going to be your lack to detach from the actual monetary value of trades. If you are so obsessed with the dollar amount you are making in a trade, you are going to, like I mentioned before, move your stop loss to an invalid point in price and just put it where you think, oh, I won't lose this much money. You're going to put your take profit to a point in price where it is simply based off greed and not statistics. When I'm telling you, trading is purely based off statistics, right? And you are putting your take profit somewhere where you just make $1,000 or you make $2,000 or you make $500, but you're not putting it somewhere that actually makes sense. If your actual take profit should be you making $400, but you want to make $1,000, so you move your take profit all the way up here, you are breaking your system. Because if you lose that trade or you get break even now, it is 100% your fault when you could have had those $427 or $400 secured, right? So don't be greedy in the markets. Don't be an idiot. Don't break your rules. Follow your system. Follow a set of statistics that you know will make you money over the course of a week, over the course of a month. Just have the patience to actually get there, right? So many of you guys will have one bad day and crash out and blow your fundeds. If you don't have the patience to even out the statistics, you will never become a profitable trader, right? Mind you, losing trades and winning trades don't come in a perfect series of 7 winning trades, 3 losing trades. Oh, if I lost this trade, I should lose the next 2, and then I should win the next 7. No, you can lose 20 trades in a row right now, and then win the next 80, and that's still an 80% win rate. Trading can come in the most random order, but that is what makes trading dangerous and risky. If you don't have the actual possibility, if you don't have the actual discipline to limit your risk on a daily basis, why do you think the most profitable traders in the industry don't full port every trade? Because they know even the highest probability setup, this setup that could be a 99% win rate, that every time you take in this exact setup, you've won. There is no way you can lose. There is always a chance of your trade going wrong on you. And when that trade goes wrong on you, you should be limiting your risk to a percentage or dollar amount in comparison to your account that you are comfortable losing. And when I say, oh, I thought you said you shouldn't put your stop loss somewhere where the dollar amount matters. I'm talking about if you have a real live account, you should be risking 1% per trade, right? And I'm not talking about upping your contract size to fit that 1% to make more money. I'm talking about if your stop loss should be 25 points, you should be entering a trade with, if your account size is $10,000 or $100,000, let's say you have a $100,000 funded account, right? You should be risking around $1,000 per trade. That is 1%. So if your stop loss should be at 25 points, you should be entering that trade with 2 contracts, because therefore you are risking 25 points times $20 per point times 2 contracts is $1,000, right? I'm never going to tell you, and hopefully you never do, right, to increase your contract size to make a higher dollar amount. No, and then be like, oh, you said to risk 1%, but then your stop loss is 5 points instead of 15 or 20 points. No, you should be fixing your stop loss in a perspective, or what's the word for it? In perspective to your funded account, 1%, 1.5%, as much as you want to risk. I recommend risking 1/4 to 1/5 of your funded account drawdown per trade. Keep in mind, when you're trading a funded account, you're essentially trading with the money that you have in drawdown. So if you're on a 50K, you're basically on a $2,000 live account. You should be risking anywhere between $400 to $500 per trade on a 50K funded. If you're on a $2,000 live account, you should be risking around $100 per trade, not more than $100 to $200 per trade. A live account is a completely different game, because the $2,000 live account that I'm talking about on a funded account only costs you $200 after activation. So that is a whole different game. When you are on live, that is a whole different game, right? And I'm sorry for the yab session today, boys. I hope you actually took something out of this video. I hope you learned from my mistakes as a trader. You don't waste as much money and time as I did. You don't stay in backtesting every night when you can actually enjoy time with your friends and family and then focus on the weekdays. You don't full port your accounts to justify a dollar amount. You actually stick to your plan and risk 1% per trade. You base your risk off logic and not off emotion. You base your trading off logic and not off emotion. When you start basing yourself as a trader and completely change your mindset to I am a logical trader, I am following a logical and successful system, and not, oh, I just want to make fucking $10,000 this month, that is when you're actually going to see some sort of progress and essentially success as a trader. So 3 takeaways I want you guys to take from this video. A, if you cannot justify your entry, stop loss, and take profit, you should not be in that trade. B, you don't need to spend all this money on funded accounts. Trade on paper until you're comfortable. The worst case scenario, you're gonna miss 1 profitable month. If you're really good at trading, this could be your career for the rest of your life. So what is 1 month going to offset or take away from you in the next fucking 20, 30 years? Why are you upset that, oh, I could have been on a funded account today, man? You think you're gonna remember that in 20 fucking years? No, it's gonna serve no significance in the longer term. So focus on the long-term goal and stop focusing on your greedy ass 2-week fucking mindset goal, whatever you have in mind, right? And 3, don't react to your emotions. Learn to control your emotions. Don't react. It's that simple. Not reacting to your emotions is mastering control to your emotions in itself. That doesn't make any sense. Why? If you're, that's what you might say to me. I mean, right? If you're on the charts, you take a loss, reacting would be to break your system, break your rules, go on tilt, go on edge. Not reacting would be understanding that you are trading a logical system that is successful over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, or over the course of a month, over the course of a year, however long that time period is. You understand that you're trading a profitable system, so you should not react, right? You are not right or wrong based off the outcome of your trade. You are right or wrong based off the fact if you followed your system. Did I enter a trade because I wanted to make money, or did I enter a trade because my setup presented itself, right? Did I win this trade because I followed my system, or did I win this trade because I wanted money and I entered a random trade? If you entered a random trade and you won, you don't deserve that money, and I promise the market will take it back. I promise you that bad habit you just built will bite you in the ass tenfold in the future. That $1,000 you made right now might cost you $10,000, $20,000 in the future. So be careful on every trade you take. Be careful every day in the markets. Follow your systems, follow your rules, and be fucking patient. I could not be more fucking serious about being patient, because if you're not patient, there's no point in trading. Trading is a game of patience. It is a game of who can follow their rule, who can follow the system, right? It's not a game of who can make the most money today, who can make the most money tomorrow. The goal is to live to trade another day, all right? I hope you guys have a great day and took something out of this video. If you guys are interested, I think I am reopening the free Discord, so the link for that will be in the description. Besides that, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you boys tomorrow.